So the last 2 weeks have been pretty exciting. First, it started with an unboxing video of this 10,000 pound Steven Wilson box set, which contained an exclusive song that was pressed to a 7-inch record that only existed in that box set. So there is one copy of that record in the entire world. The song on that record, the Tastemaker, is not going to be released anywhere else. But Steven Wilson, the artist, gave whoever bought the box set, me in this scenario, the right to release a song if they wanted to and share it with the world, or the right to keep it private and just let it be between him and me. So after getting the box set, I made a very careful needle drop of that 7-inch and cleaned it up a little bit to get rid of some of the pops and ticks. And then instead of just putting up a video of the record spinning around while the song played, I decided to make a music video for the song. This is something I've been doing for my band for a while, so it was a skill that I had. And I'd kind of come up with a cool story of who the Tastemaker character was that I wanted to share with everyone else. My partner Kristen played the Tastemaker in the music video, so we bought matching suits that matched Steven Wilson's album cover suit. We did a quick photo shoot and recreated the cover art for the single. So this photo shoot ended up becoming this cover art, and then set out to make the video. I was gonna need quite a few elements for the video, so I needed a number of in-camera shots or IRL shots of, Kristen here at my desk and playing on the computer and stuff, but also a lot of composite shots from After Effects where I was going to take fake news footage and overlay our own, lower thirds on it and some of the Future Bites products to make it look like the newscasters are talking about the Future Bites. First, we shot the in-camera shots. So we're getting set up for the video shoot. And behind the desk, we have 2 red LEDs reflecting up onto the wall behind the desk. Kristen's at the desk in her best Tastemaker uniform. And then we have some blue LEDs behind her. So the composite shot will then end up being something like this, with some nice blue highlighting her hair and the jacket, and the red kind of glowing behind the monitors. And if you take a look at the shot in camera, looks pretty slick. I just love the way the lighting came out on those. I think it really fits the Future Bites style universe that Steven Wilson's created in his previous videos. I like to think of the Tastemaker as like a direct prequel to his Eminent Sleaze video. So if you do end up watching the Tastemaker, please go watch the Eminent Sleaze video like directly after that. Then I programmed an entirely fake website that works. It is a working fake website. And this is where the Tastemaker was going to log in and choose which products to accept and which products to reject. This is kind of the basis of our story in the video, is that as soon as the human being limited edition of 1 is accepted, the population starts dying off. Like, how else can you have a limited edition of 1 unless they're the only person surviving in the end? This idea wasn't my own. It was the way the Eminent Sleaze music video ends, but Steven did not explain how they had gotten to that point, and I really wanted to explore that. So here we are in Photoshop, where I've designed all of the products, the fake products that we're going to use in the video. I tried to keep the design very similar to the design Steven Wilson used on his official Future Bites store and album sleeves. Like, all of the singles have various products on the covers. So I had a lot of existing art to kind of pull from. And so all of these were made here for the video. So you have, the cocaine here, you have the candle. There's a couple that I made that we didn't end up using. So like we did like an e-cigarette, but again, it just didn't fit into the video. I think there was a couple others that didn't fit into. Oh yeah, I guess we also did like a syringe thing. It's like maybe like a medicine or vaccinations or things like that. But I wasn't really happy with the lettering on the syringe bottle. And again, just kind of cut for time. Each of these, I had to design from scratch and try to make them look like products that the Future Bites would release. This one was a bit of a joke for anyone who caught it in the video, as it kind of mocks the Ultra Deluxe limited edition of 1 box set that I purchased. But some of these were necessities for the story. So we had to do the mirror. We had to have that start the apocalyptic population wipeout. So that started it all. And then I thought it would be fun, because everyone's dying, to have the Future Bites coffins, which is where this came from. And then again, I thought, well, the coffins are going to take up a lot of space and a lot of room on Earth. And so maybe, going with the urn and adding the inscription available for an extra 1,000 pounds, I thought was a nice touch for the way the Future Bites kind of operates. And so, yeah, these are how the individual products were designed that go into the video. And then on a lot of these, like the Future Byte stuff was usually just like straight text. But on something like the hand, I wanted to make sure it really looked like it was kind of like printed or stamped on. So if I zoom in here a little bit, you can kind of see how it, stretches and smears along the hand, and it's not just like straight text. I think that kind of like adds a little bit to making it look a little bit more real and like this is an actual product that they would be trying to sell. Of course, the website that we're on the entire time is the product proposal portal for the Tastemaker. So these are all going to be mock-ups. Even in the reality of the music video, they're going to be mock-ups. So they didn't have to be perfect. But they had to look good. And I thought that, with most of these anyway, we got the curvatures of all the letters correct. Especially on the ones that were round, we had to make sure I had to make sure that the numbering and any kind of subtitles would wrap around the product like you would naturally see. So those were a lot of fun to design. I tried to use products that were mentioned in the song, especially in the extended version of the song. So if you listen to the extended remix on the bonus materials disc, one of the products that are read out that were cut from the album version is cocaine. And I thought that would be a nice little, again, Easter egg in the video that only people who had listened to the extended remix would know why that product is there. So here we are inside Dreamweaver, and this is the program that I used to create the fake Future Bytes website that you see the Tastemaker using in the video. This is their product proposal portal. And again, this is going to take the images that I made in Photoshop and create a website, kind of, sort of. It does work in a browser. This is obviously a fake URL. All this is just a sliced image from Photoshop. The only thing that really needed to work are the previous buttons, the next buttons, and then the reject and accept buttons. So if you look here and at the code, you'll see that when the mouse scrolls over it, it changes colors, and then when you click on it, it becomes the actual accepted icon, which has a little glow just to kind of indicate, oh, they've accepted this product. So those are the only things that really had to work. The rest of it, again, is fake. Fake browser up here, fake URL, fake operating system even. This is kind of the Windows operating system, but I replaced the Windows logo with the hamburger menu and replaced all the apps with Future Bytes apps, assuming that they would have various apps for work and play. And then just programmed a bunch of these pages so that the Tastemaker could sit and click through the various products and reject and accept them on camera. It's all pretty simple coding, but it took a lot of time, and I ended up needing 3 pages for each product so that when you clicked on reject or accept, it could take you to another page where that image was already filled in to be the correct image. For example, if we were to click on accept here, that would take us to this page here, which has the button already accepted. So once you clicked on it here, you'd automatically be taken here, and it would look like the button had been activated, and then the Tastemaker could click over to the next product. So I took this fake website that I programmed and recorded it using screen capture software so that we could just play it back while making the music video, and Kristen didn't have to sit and click on the website the entire time. To show that footage in the actual video, I didn't want to just put up the direct screen capture because that would have been very flat and would have been very digital and cold looking. So to make all the fake websites and computer screens look more realistic, instead of just putting the actual render into Premiere, I set up my Canon and just shot my TV screen to help add some effect to the video, make it look more like it's being presented on a computer screen. Went into a lot of detail when I made these. So there's a Future Bytes user up there. The URL is even correct. I mean, it's fake. I just typed it into the bar without hitting enter, but it's there. The tab has a proper name. All of the emails are proper names. These are members of the Steven Wilson Street Team on Facebook, the official Street Team. I asked if anyone would like to be included in the video, and close to 200 people replied, and so I had to make 200 fake emails that scroll by in the video as new orders are placed. Looks realistic, I think, anyway. It's all done in Photoshop, and then going through the layer of the 7D gives us a really cool screen effect. These shots didn't turn out as well as I was hoping. They gave the effect that I wanted, but I just couldn't get the angles to look right. And I wanted to be able to manipulate more of the zoom in and zoom out stuff in post. So I instead recreated all of that in After Effects. So this is what it looks like when the footage is untouched, and it is very sharp. It is very clean looking. And I wanted the news footage to look a little bit more distorted and a little bit more like you're actually watching it on a screen. So we had to make it look like this. And if you can see, like, all of the lines have ghosts of different colors. So you kind of have like a pinkish red hue to the left and a greenish blue to the right. You also have this like screen door effect here. Those are seeing the individual pixels of the TV. All of this is faked. This is not the actual footage from the TV. We're doing that. I was able to do that by adding a number of effects to the footage. So we ended up adding in a grid effect, which is how you get the screen door effect. And I also ended up adding in a shift channels effect. And so again, as you go through each of these. So I ended up with 3 copies of these, one showing nothing but the red alpha channel, one showing nothing but the green alpha channel, and one showing nothing but the blue alpha channel. And then I was able to offset them by just a couple pixels each, and that is how you get this really cool distorted look here. And then you layer the screen door effect on top of that, and you have what looks like a TV screen, a close-up of it anyway. You can even see it on her, like her clothes here. So that was a really neat effect. It's exactly what I was trying to do by filming the TV screen downstairs, only this is a way that I could control it. I could zoom in, I could zoom out, I could change the intensity of it at any point. And that was important to me, to have that level of control without having to go and refilm 80 different shots of the TV downstairs. I was able to just come in here, make the adjustments that I wanted, use a camera element to pan around or zoom in and out if I needed to, and everything was done digitally instead of done in the camera. So here we are in After Effects, and each of the news clips started with just a stock piece of news footage. These are clips that you can pay to license, and they're blank. So you have to make your own lower third, you have to make your own featured news story image, all that kind of stuff. But this is just the clip, and you get about 30 seconds of it, and you can use it in any commercial purpose. So you could put this in a movie if you wanted, TV shows, etc. So the first thing I did was to adjust the coloring to make this clip match all the other clips in my video. And so I just put down an adjustment layer and just changed the levels. So as you can see, it's a bit brighter, there's a little bit more contrast, and that just help it sit better with all the other footage that was in the video. Then we start building on these lower thirds. So you have like the news ticker down here, which just scrolls text across the screen. Here I have the Tesla installs solar powered death clock in Times Square. You can type in whatever you want down there to add to your news piece. And then the date, which goes here. That includes that nice little shadow that the words kind of go under over there and disappear into here. I chose 2035 because that is the year in Steven Wilson's Eminent Sleaze video where everything goes to hell and he's the last human alive. So I thought this was kind of like counting down towards the end of the year, and would be a nice little Easter egg for people who saw that and knew that. And if they didn't, it wouldn't make any difference. I don't think that was what people were focusing on in the video. Then, of course, you have your headline. So mysterious, the future bites pre-order still the rumored source of this mass extinction. So this is the second time she's on screen with this news headline, because the first time is when the pre-order goes live initially, and the population starts dropping, but nobody knows why. Then we add in a cool little breaking news animated thing that pops up here. So bloop, and just, you know, kind of gives it some movement and helps make it look a little bit more professional. And then we have the Future Bytes logo. So it's kind of like they've got their own media channels already at this point in the future, and are able to dictate kind of sort of what the people read and see. And then finally we have the main product that she's talking about. So the Human Being limited edition of 1. And I made that product image just to kind of sort of match the mirror at the end of the Eminent Sleaze video, because that's obviously the product that starts this this whole thing off. And now, of course, we could do this with any news clip behind here. So if I wanted to quickly switch it over to this guy, we could have made him read us this news story. Because again, it's just, these are all on top of the actual footage of the newscaster. And if I turn all this off, he again is just a stock news clip. No idea what he's saying. There's no audio or anything. It's just for you to use in movies to kind of like fill in on TV screens in the background, you know, and that kind of stuff. But it worked out really well for my video here in adding a bunch of legitimacy to the video to help make it look like the Future Bytes is a real company on a real news channel. Once I had all the individual elements, which were over 40 in-camera shots and over 24 After Effects composites CGI animation shots, I took it all into Premiere and spent about 2.5 days editing. The initial rough cut came together pretty quickly, but I spent a lot of time fine-tuning to make sure that almost every mouse click is right on the beat, almost every screenshot change is right on the beat. Music videos kind of have a flow to them, a groove to them, and I really want to make sure the editing fit that groove. During the editing process, I also ended up having to cut a ton of the footage we shot. One of the items included in the one-of-a-kind Ultra Deluxe box set was actually the laptop bag prop that Steven Wilson used in the Eminent Sleaze video. So I thought it'd be really cool to include that in this video as a prop. Unfortunately, all those shots had to be cut, so you can still see it in some of the establishing shots early on in the video, but it's nowhere near as highlighted as I thought it would be. So we even had this opening scene. I've added in sound effects and stuff of Kristen walking by through the hallway of the Future Bytes like corporate headquarters. That was okay, but the writing on the bag was a little blurry in those shots. So we even tried doing one where she would be standing in an elevator and I was going to composite in some elevator walls. But again, the song is so short, we just didn't have time in the video to include everything. The final step was to bring everything into Premiere and get it all edited together. This is where I was able to finesse a lot of the camera movements, the zoom in here and there. This is where I was able to add in all of the static elements like on the beat when things switch channels and that. Obviously all the footage that we took, whether it was created in After Effects digitally or whether it was actually filmed in camera here, and get that all cut together to the song. Once that was done, I did some overlays here to add in like this digital noise. So if I take that layer off, you'll see that, you have the normal news layer underneath it, but then I also rendered out the entire video and added nothing but this horrible static to it. And so then I can take that, overlay it back on top of the video, choose some kind of blending mode and a lowered opacity so that it's not there 100%, but looks like you're kind of like losing the signal, adds a little bit of extra grit and character to the video, and used very sparingly. Even though I rendered out the entire video and added that effect to the entire video, it's used for maybe a total of, 10 seconds through the entire video, just to kind of give you that nice little bump when these scenes come up, and you want the change to go, yeah, like right there. That's beautiful, I think. And so that stretches out over the static here, so it just kind of starts and comes on right before we go to the static, and then we change the channel to this, and then you get the clean shot afterwards. And you do it right on the beat, and everything looks good, feels good, kind of grooves with the song, and just adds a really nice texture to the video. Then we just have to create some credits for the end of the video, and it's done. I make it sound easy, but it was quite a bit of work. It was about 10 solid days from the time I decided I was going to do it, instead of just putting up a still frame of like the cover art, or to put up the 7-inch spinning around while it played. Those are kind of your typical needle drop videos, and I just thought maybe we could have a little bit more fun with it. Maybe we could do something a little bit more exciting. But once editing was done, it was time to release it. So I made a little teaser thumbnail and I put that up the day before because people kept asking, when is the song coming? When's the song coming? By the way, the second most frequent question I got after when is the song coming was, when are you going to release the FLAC download? So in the description, there is a link to a high-res lossless FLAC download of My Needle Drop. Feel free to click on that and download the song and add it to your playlist of the Future Bytes, bonus materials or extras. Anyway, then I put the video up and the reaction was good. Even some of the comments from people who didn't necessarily enjoy the song or enjoy the new album yet had nice things to say about the video. Then 2 days after that, I got a personal email from Steven Wilson. That was the highlight of all this, of course. We went back and forth through a few messages, and he talked about how important it was to him that the Ultra Deluxe feel as high quality as any of his other deluxe editions in the past, even though it was only a one-off and there was only one of them being made. He wanted that quality to be there. So he was very pleased when he saw how happy I was with the box set in my unboxing video. We also talked a little bit about the Tastemaker video, which he said was very cool, and then he ended up sharing it on his Facebook, on his Instagram, on his Twitter, all of his official social channels the following day. Again, another highlight of this whole project. To have an artist that you admire so much and respect so much enjoy your work, and enjoy it enough to share it with his entire fan base, it is very cool. So that's a high I'll be riding for quite some time. All right, that was a look at the behind the scenes making of the Tastemaker video. If you've seen the video, I do hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for all the nice comments on it. If you haven't seen it, you can go to my channel now and watch the video and hear the exclusive song that won't be released anywhere else. And again, for the hundreds of you who have asked, the download link for the lossless FLAC file is in the description of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all soon.
I am a tastemaker. Everybody wants a life like mine. I am the muckraker. Everybody wants to hear my story. Everybody wants to be my friend.